What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel. Before we get into this next video, I'd like to make a special announcement. In April 2025, I will be launching a new Patreon. That's right. We can do things over there that we can't do on them folks' platform. So if you've been a supporter here, you've been a subscriber here, you've rocked out with me here, I expect to see you over yonder at the Storefront Church. We opening up in April. We're gonna have a whole lot going on there that we can't do here. For example, we'll be able to chat directly over there in our private chat rooms on Patreon. We can talk about things that we couldn't talk about here on them folks' platform. We can have private conversations. We can have public conversations. I want to be more available to the people who really rock out with me. To that end, not only will I put exclusive videos over there that won't be available on YouTube, but we'll also have exclusive live streams, y'all. That's right. I'm gonna go live more often in the Patreon. So if you've rocked out with me here, if you felt what I've been doing here, if you're picking up what I'm putting down over here on them folks' platform, well, it's gonna be greater over there. So I hope you rock with me. As the old folks say, we can go another further over there. So don't meet me there, beat me there. I'll leave a link in the description. Y'all go sign up. Ain't no charge for nothing right now. I'm just collecting information and emails and getting everything set up for April 2025. Y'all meet me on Patreon. And now let's get to the video.
That was Nancy Pelosi pushing out Joe Biden. Now, is she trying to push out Chuck Schumer? Because for the first time, she delivered a sharp rebuke in public to Senator Chuck Schumer over his support of the House GOP spending bill. The breaking news is the Senate Democrats is now moving to say yes to pass it. But Nancy Pelosi said Democrat senators should listen to Democrat women in the Senate. Joining us now, Fox News political analyst Lisa Booth.
Lisa, I feel like we need popcorn together watching this.
Did you ever see this one coming, that Pelosi would publicly rebuke Schumer?
It's bad for the left right now. You know, we need popcorn watching this together, you know. But, you know, Liz, this is what happens when you have a power vacuum. You know, you've got all these warring factions trying to figure out what's next for the Democrat Party. And obviously, they're in complete disarray right now. We're seeing this generational divide. I mean, Nancy Pelosi already stepped down from leadership in the House. Chuck Schumer is obviously still there in the Senate. And they're in an ideological divide as well. You look at the squad with AOC very upset, obviously, with Chuck Schumer going ahead and moving forward with this. And so they're trying to figure out what's next for the Democrat Party because they've been so badly defeated by President Trump that, you know, they're trying to find their bearings and they're trying to figure out what's next for the party. And this is bearing fruit right now. That's what we're witnessing.
Interesting. Let's get your take on their chummier days. Watch this.
Chuck was masterful.
Well,
he was masterful.
She set him up so I could go in for the kill.
No, but he was masterful.
So, Mr. President, will you own the shutdown? Yes, I will. And that was, oh, thank you very much.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, seems like the Democrat Party is continuing to devolve into disarray, going deeper and deeper into that hole they are digging for themselves. Perhaps they won't be able to come out of it by the midterms. Perhaps they won't be able to come out of it by the next presidential election. Looks like they are down and down bad. Where you got the young bucks of the party, like a Chuck Schumer in the Senate. Yeah, when I say young buck, Chuck Schumer is 74 years old, y'all. He's younger than Donald Trump. But he is facing opposition that has just come to light by the old heads of the party, the old heads over there in the House of Representatives. Nancy Pelosi, at a spry young 84 years old, is coming out taking shots at the yet wet behind the ears Chuck Schumer because he didn't go along with the House Democrats who decided that they weren't going to fool with Republicans and vote for this CR. No, they weren't going to fund the government. They wanted the government to shut down. They want a revolution. They want people out in the streets. They want people on college campuses. They want every form of opposition they can have on their side. They want to take to the streets. They want you to be riled up and angry every time you step out of your bed every morning. They want you to be sympathetic to their plight. Their plight is un-American. And it seems like despite 77 million people voting for something else in this election, they haven't yet come to grips with the fact that the American people don't want what you selling. They not buying it. They ain't picking up what you putting down. Crazy Nancy, as Donald Trump would call you. Well, seems like Chuck Schumer may have come to his senses because y'all are just nonsensical over there in the House. Chuck Schumer saying, look, 74, Nancy 84, I might have another decade in this game. I got to fight for my own survival here. Yeah, I'm the minority leader now, but there's a chance at some point in the future I might just be able to convince the American people to make me the majority leader once again in the Senate. Well, I ain't trying to damage myself to the point of no return. So let me go ahead. If you can't beat him, join him. Chuck Schumer said, I am going to vote for this CR. He convinced 9 other Democrats in the Senate to vote with Republicans and pass this CR. And now, y'all, the government is funded. Donald Trump gets to move forward with his agenda. And boy, oh boy, are the Democrats super mad.
The grassroots is furious, right? Most of the caucus is furious. I never before, my parents were Democrats. I've been a Democrat my entire life. Never before did I say, I should leave this party, because if democracy is at risk and you had no idea what to do and you have no plan, and even now at this moment, you know nothing of what to do and you're capitulating to this is disgusting.
Are you thinking about leaving the Democratic Party? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, me personally, yes. I'm not an elected official, but I have always voted with the Democrats.
Over this issue?
Yeah, over the inability to figure out what to do in the face of fascism and the rise of Trump.
I hear you on that. The inability to have a plan is absolutely a problem, right? But I'm really questioning, what is the plan after the shutdown happens? Because when a shutdown happens, people don't get paid. And this is not exactly an administration that wants to keep the government open. They actually want the thing to be shut down.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And I'm not a Democrat, never was. I was a lifelong Republican and quit the party over Donald Trump because he is someone who doesn't respect the Constitution and is trying to rule like a king. So, but look, I was part of the Tea Party movement. I watched what happened and how Republicans were a resistance opposition party when Democrats ran everything. And watching this happen now as someone who's an independent that's pro-democracy, that I guess you can say caucuses with the Democrats now, it is very frustrating. When you don't have a leader, there's no unification in a message. It hurts the grassroots and the troops that you need.
Right.
Could you imagine if, during World War II, and you saw what was happening with the bombs over London, and then, it was just like, Churchill's just going to say, we're going to capitulate now because, what are we going to do about it? This is not the way you lead. What happens is that the Republicans who are in charge, they have to explain why workers aren't getting paid. They need to explain why they can't run the government. And the Democrats need to say, we were fighting for you. It's not they're in charge. And show that people are being fought for. I'm watching what's happening. And when you have a demoralized base, you're never going to lead an opposition. If you don't have the chutzpah, if you don't have the intestinal fortitude to lead, then get the hell out of the way, Chuck Schumer, and let the people who are willing to fight for their constituents lead the party. Because this is not the way to win.
Okay.
Then how angry are Democrats at Leader Schumer?
I've never seen this level of volcanic anger at a Democrat ever. Ever.
Wow.
We could be grumpy. We can be frustrated with each other. There is a volcanic eruption of outrage at Leader Schumer because we want a Mitch McConnell. I remember when Obama had all the cards. Mitch McConnell drove Obama nuts, twisted his pinky, broke his kneecaps, and got stuff done for Republicans when they shouldn't have gotten an inch. They got miles. We have a Senate a majority leader who is beloved in this party, but we want somebody who's going to stand up to this bully. Stand up to this bully. Do something. And if you shut the government down and it gets a little bit crazy, at least some politics is about the rationality. There's an emotional need to stop Donald Trump and Elon Musk from running over this party. And I think Chuck Schumer has radically misread the room.
Radically misread the room.
Let's listen to Charlemagne the God, who was about as blunt as you are in his own way. This is his message for the Democratic leadership now.
You know why, Dems suck at messaging? Because they never talking about nothing and they do nothing. So guess what? To me, they all got to go. Like Dems don't just have a messaging problem; they got a leadership problem. The Chuck Schumers of the world, the Hakeem Jeffries, they should all step down. And any Dem who isn't fighting for the people and standing with the party should be primary.
If ALC, Schumer doesn't run until I think 28. If he were up now and ALC primaried him, he would be out.
He'd be out.
He'd be out. I'm not saying.
I mean, think about that. Chuck Schumer. I mean, this is a storied leader of the Democratic Party that you would say that.
Listen, it's the wrong. We want some alpha energy, and that's not what we're seeing. It's this party is tired of watching Donald Trump and Elon Musk run over this party, run over this country, run over the Constitution. And if you only have one opportunity to take a stand and you don't take it, it's very difficult to. Once you lose people's hearts, you can disagree on hit. You lost hearts now. That's tough.
So the Democrats have been reduced to the equivalent of crying toddlers, pouting toddlers, saying, if I can't have my way, I'm just going to kick and scream on the floor of aisle 7 in the grocery store and embarrass my mother. Dear Mother America, you going to get it today. Because the Democrats can't come to grips with the fact that they have lost the heart of the American people. They can't come to grips with the fact that they are a radical party. They are extremists. And most of America is not extreme, to the point where America don't agree with you and your party and your antics. So if you expect society to go along with your foolishness, well, you're going to have to win them over with riots, destruction, revolution, all those buzzwords that you throw out there. And you think that the rest of America don't understand what you're trying to say, what you're trying to convey. We even got to be careful on them folks' platform, how we present it. But what y'all are trying to say is you want the radicals out there. You want the people in the streets. People have been getting swatted. People have been getting threatened. People have even been unalived for reporting certain things. We saw the story of the InfoWars reporter. It's a tragedy that American society has come to this. But I understand, I don't agree with it, but I understand that these Democrats ain't got no other option. They got trounced, y'all. As Kwame Brown would say, they got their drawers kicked in they behind to the point where they feel like they don't have another option. Well, looks like this is going to be a losing battle because ICE is on the loose. CBP is on the loose. American police forces, DOJ, FBI, have been empowered and emboldened by this new administration. Y'all better tread lightly, better tread carefully, because it's a new day in America, and I'm not sure that these leftists understand by the rhetoric they're putting out on the Crying Negro Network. Van Jones is a smart man, but it seems like he don't understand. He's not ready to wave the white flag. He still feel like he got something in the tank where he can motivate young dummies to crash out in this modern era. Because let me tell you, if you do what they are advocating for, if you resist in the way that they want you to, you are going to go to prison. Your life moving forward is not going to be enjoyable. You think it's bad now under the Orange Man umbrella. Oh, it's going to get much worse behind those bars.
Another right move that is being called wrong is not shutting down the government. A shutdown does nothing to the people who cause it. It only punishes the public. I am no fan of continuing resolutions. They are supposed to be for emergencies. And they were designed in a way to assume that Congress would keep negotiating on appropriations. Now, they're the rule more than the exception. Democrats and Republicans both kick the can, basically quitting on doing the real job of negotiating and passing all 12 appropriation bills. No one gets to do this in their job. None of us. Only in Congress. But this one in particular must be exposed to show how ugly the play is. Senator Schumer backed off the shutdown threat. Why? Because he was told the last thing Democrats need is to shut the government down and once again seem to be against the interests of the majority. And you know what? He made the right call. But not according to many leaders in his party. They want you to believe that they're fighting for you by shutting down the government. They just want to play the game. And I'm not just talking about the AOC socialist types. okay? Most media are playing up the split in the Democrat ranks. I don't give a damn about that. That's part of the problem. They just love covering the game. Did you hear what Pelosi said and Hakeem Jeffries and his Schumer? Forget it. Forget playing their game. Expose it. Make it end, okay? Pelosi actually wants senators to defy Schumer and shut the government down. Pelosi's statement is proof of the problem. Trump and Musk have offered the Congress a false choice between a government shutdown or a blank check. What proof is there of that? It makes a devastating assault on the well-being of working families across America. I read it. America has experienced a Trump shutdown before, but this damaging legislation only makes matters worse. How? How? We must fight back for a better way. What better way? Telling senators to defy Schumer? Pelosi postures like this is about fighting for you against tax cuts for the rich and taking pressure off the working class. That is bull blank bleep. This is a continuing resolution. You know what that means? Pelosi does. She's lying to you about it. Why? Advantage. A continuing resolution means they are extending the funding from the last budget deal, which was a CR. Okay? It was under Biden. It was basically the same spending that is in this one. So what is Pelosi's proposition? That the Democrats were doing you dirty when they all agreed to this same spending that Biden signed last year? Is that what she's saying? Here is the fact. In September, Biden signed $1.6 trillion in a continuing resolution, a CR. All the Democrats voted for it. December, Biden signed another one, $1.7 trillion CR, added over $100 billion in disaster aid. There was a specific circumstance. And basically all the Democrats voted for it. Now this bill, this CR, is essentially the same. Same one they passed in December. It has $1.7 trillion in funding, just like that one. Are there any differences at all? Yes. Yes, there are. It cuts the DC budget by $1 billion and other earmarked programs. It adds $6 billion to defense spending. But these aren't major changes in spending. The only legit gripe is that this CR is twice as long as the last two. But they're not arguing that. This is about party advantage, and you see it in the party pawns. Looks like a government shutdown is going to be avoided, handing a political victory to President Trump. What's the suggestion in this BS? Right? That they shouldn't have done it, that they should have fought back, that the Democrats are weak. That is somebody who doesn't give a damn about what's happening to people, just which side seems to be winning. A CR isn't a win. It's a punt. It's avoiding disaster. But all of this rhetoric is just stirring the pot because social media mavens thrive on the game. Congressman Ro Khanna wrote, when the Senate Minority Leader sells you out, the only option is to take back the party and country with grassroots activists in blue and red districts to stand up for the Constitution and our democracy. I respect Ro Khanna. I asked him to come on tonight to defend this. And when he wants to, he will be welcome. But how did Schumer sell out by keeping the government going? Was there another deal to be had? No. So then you wanted a shutdown. This is the wrong way to do what is right. Democrats need to wake up to the fiscal reality that we are drowning in debt and can't keep spending like we were in a pandemic. Punishing the rest of us for their inability to make a deal, their inability to win enough elections so that they have control is BS. And again, when the Democrats were in power, they did CRs too that had the almost exact same spending that's in the current bill. That's why I'm so pissed off about it. They have no high ground on this, okay? This isn't cutting Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare and in favor of a tax cut for the top. If that's what was in this, go for it. Fight to the death. That's a hill to die on. They did it twice in a row, just like this. I gave you the numbers. It's a game. Please see it and reject.
Now, y'all, I agree with him. A CR isn't a win. It's a punt. You're kicking the can down the road. However, in this instance, I tend to agree with the government. I tend to agree with Donald Trump. He's saying, I've only been in office for 60 days, right? And I believe that in that 60 days, because I had months to prepare for this, I came into office ready to work on day one. In that 60-day period, I have proven to you, legislators, that I am worthy of this extension of time. That's all it is. It's an extension of time. I need the government to keep functioning. We need money to enact our policies. We need to keep things going so that we can get to a point down the road where we are ready. We couldn't do it in 60 days. It wasn't enough time. Give us 6 more months, and I promise you, we won't do another CR. Y'all seen what I did in 60 days, right? I should have been able to earn your trust in that time. I should have been able to gain a little bit of credibility in that time to say, hey, give me this time period, and I will do 3 times as much in 6 months. I will prove to you, I will prove myself. See, Donald Trump, he's not trying to really prove himself to Democrats. That's why they're kicking and screaming. He's not even trying to prove himself to Republicans. Donald Trump is on a mission to prove himself to Donald Trump. He is about to rewrite the books of history. He doesn't just want to be a great president. He wants to be the greatest president ever. And to that end, he has studied former presidents that he considers great. You might not consider them great. He says, make America great again. Some of y'all still out there talking about when was America great? With all the achievements that America has made over the generations, over the centuries, and y'all still saying, well, when was it great? One of the youngest countries in the world, and yet the greatest country in the world, and y'all still saying, when was America great? Well, he's trying to prove it to you. Give him a chance. I agree with what Cuomo is saying. Yeah, you kick the can down the road. I get it. I always complain about it when Democrats do it. I don't like it. A balanced budget is necessary. But I also understand that some trimming of the fat needs to continue in order to get us to the point where a balanced budget can be achieved. Let Doge be Doge. Let Trump be Trump. And at the end of all this, we go say, let America be America. Y'all, let me know what you think about this. These old head Democrats, like crazy Nancy, trying to assert their old 84-year-old power. Trying to kick the young bucks out like a Chuck Schumer. Say, oh, we're going to run AOC against you in your home turf, in your own district. Oh, we got opposition to you because we don't agree with you siding with the opposition. You are op now. Well, they say politics makes for strange bedfellows, does it not? Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts, and meet us over at Patreon, y'all. I'll drop a link in the description so you can get right over there and join the conversation in the group chat. On Patreon, we're looking forward to big things over there. The official launch is April 1st, 2025, and we're going to get it cracking in Patreon. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember, never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.